Just at the eastern tip of Java lies an island famed throughout the world for its great beauty, Bali, Isle of Enchantment, a land of happy, quiet people. The Balinese have developed an elaborate and beautiful culture, much of their artistry centering on the dances for which they are famed throughout the world. The first dance we see is the Legong, one of the oldest and most beautiful of all Balinese dances. It is performed by young children trained from the cradle in the intricacies of the dance movements. Their dancing days are done when they reach the age of 11 or 12 years. Their dusky faces, radiant with happiness and joy of life, have a quiet beauty which is all their own. Their poise is perfect, their movements full of grace. The settings and the costumes are magnificent. Like so many non-European peoples, the Balinese put on more clothes when they wish to celebrate or make themselves particularly alluring. Changes to a modern Balinese dance known as the Janga, which is performed solely for amusement. It has been described as the Balinese equivalent of Western jazz and is performed by young men and women. Facing each other in a square formation, they perform graceful rhythmic movements as an accompaniment to the story, which is based on a famous Hindu epic and is enacted within the square. The dance master, or dag as he is called, represents the prime minister of a mythical kingdom ruled over by a handsome young prince. The part of the prince is played by a young girl. The prime minister announces that the prince will make a pilgrimage to a holy mountain where he is to sink into meditation. As he meditates, the gods send two of the most beautiful nymphs of heaven to tempt him, but the prince refuses to be moved from his high purpose. A test of his bravery follows when he is attacked by a demon in the shape of a monstrous bird. Roused from his meditation and enraged at the disturbance, the prince seizes his bow and after some picturesque byplay succeeds in killing the monster with a well-placed arrow. The Balinese are intensely religious and much of their ritual takes the form of dancing performed before the very beautiful temples in which Bali abounds. To these temples, richly carved with images of gods, the Balinese bring their simple offerings of meat, fruit and flowers to place them before the shrine. This is the temple of the dead, where offerings are made to the gods of the mountains and the water and the sun, so that the spirits of the departed may sleep in peace. The gods extract the essence from these gifts, and being appeased, they do not disturb the spirit's slumbers. Bali is one of the few places left in the East completely unspoiled by the spread of our Western civilization. Before a temple such as this is performed one of the most sacred of all Balinese dances, a devout religious ceremonial rarely seen by visitors, filmed here for the first time and with the actual music of the gamelan or native orchestra, the grotesque dance of the barong, more commonly called the Chris dance, a dramatic representation of the age-old struggle between good and evil. The dance opens with the entrance of the good spirit, the barong, a strange mythical tiger who is accompanied by attendant spirits, clownish-looking figures in the role of ballet. There appears the first sinister motive in the dance. The evil spirits begin to play their part in the drama. A dramatic moment is reached with the entrance of the villain of the piece, the king of the devils, born in state on his high throne, who comes to taunt the tiger god. drums of the gamelan continue their rhythmic beat, rousing the emotions of the dancers to a high pitch of religious fervor. The dance is about to take a new turn. Nearby, a group of young men have worked themselves into a trance, from which they suddenly spring to their feet, and drawing sharp-pointed krisses from their clothing, they rush to the aid of the tiger god. There follows one of the most extraordinary displays attached to any religious ceremonial. Inspired with holy zeal, the Kris dancers demonstrate to the sacred tiger god their faith in the power of good which he upholds. Placing the sharp krisses against their shoulder blades, execute a remarkable dance which would appear barbaric, except that apart from physical exhaustion, they appear to suffer little hurt from their sharp-pointed krisses. The object of the dance is to prove that while they are protected by their good spirit, no forces of evil can prevail against them, not even the dangerous points of the krisses which they stick into their bodies with amazing zeal and realism. Faster and faster beat the drums and gongs of the gamelan. More and more frenzied become the contortions of the dancers. It seems incredible that they do not run themselves through. As the dancers become exhausted, they stagger to the tiger god to wipe their dripping faces in his holy beard, until but one remains who finishes the dance in a last paroxysm of religious fervor. Such is Bali, the last paradise, where the march of time has in no way altered the traditions of an age-old civilization.